Good evening and welcome to She's Howard. I'm Sharon Strange Lewis, Director of Alumni Relations at Howard University. I'm so glad you all have decided to take this journey with us. Tonight, we're in for a real treat. We're going to take an inside look at the Estee Lauder brand. We're going to find out how one woman used her power to launch a brand that has sustained us throughout 75 years. We're also going to have a panel discussion, and we're going to hear from a Howard alumna named Maiah Martin about what it's like to have a career in the prestigious beauty industry. Be sure to stay tuned for all of tonight's session because it's going to be interactive and filled with a couple of surprises. But first, we're going to kick it off with a Estee Lauder brand overview from Paige Pescatore and Kelly Brand. Kelly, Paige, take it away.
Thank you so much, Sharon. So we're going to just do a quick introduction of all of the panelists here tonight on the Estee Lauder side. So again, thank you so much for that introduction. I will start it off. My name is Kelly Brand. I am a senior manager on the global education team, and I will kick it off to Paige.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Paige Pescatore. I work on the Estee Lauder Global Consumer Insights team alongside Kelly and the other members that I'll have introduce themselves. How about Eileen?
Hi, everyone. My name is Eileen Dautruche. I'm a director on the Global Communications team, and I'm so excited to be here. And how about you, Layla?
Hi, everyone. My name is Layla Caroni. I am an assistant manager on the Global Product Marketing team. And I'm also very excited to be here, and I'll pass it on to Maiah.
Hi, everyone. So excited to be here today. My name is Maiah Martin, and I am a director on our consumer engagement team for Estee Lauder and Air Beauty in the North America region. Also a Howard alum.
Amazing. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a brand overview. So Taylor, if we want to switch places, and I'll share my screen really quickly. Everyone just bear with me for one moment. So as was set up, we are so excited to bring you through a brief brand overview, and then we're going to switch gears and get into a panel discussion and talk about what it's like to work at Estee Lauder and pick our panelists' brains on their job and career trajectories. But first, we are going to get a quick sneak peek of some of the things that you'll see during this session.
My girls just wanted to have a Saturday night in, and I thought it could be fun to look this fabulous. Uh-oh. Well, that's okay because now I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
So we love to use this asset to talk about, how Estee Lauder as a brand comes to life today. But actually, this brand was started in 1946. Which leads me to my first question, which I think you already know the answer to, but true or false, was Estee Lauder a real woman? And I will ask Paige to let me know what's going on in the chat. Oh, I failed to mention, please feel free to use the chat. We're going to ask you a couple of questions like this. Ask us any questions as we're moving through this presentation and the panel. We will be monitoring the chat function. So Paige, are there any true, false responses coming in?
Looks like we're starting to see people do know Mrs. Estee Lauder was a real woman. Good to know.
It is good to know. I mentioned at the top that I work in global education and we use this question a lot. You would be surprised some people do not know, but it is true. Our founder, Mrs. Estee Lauder, was in fact a very real woman. And we like to say that she started this company with 4 creams and a dream. So in 1946, the beauty industry was still largely run by men, but Estee Lauder paved her own way. We call her a rule breaker and a groundbreaker. And we have an exciting video to bring her to life for you right now. So let's take a look.
Estee Lauder was the original girl boss. Picture this, it's 1946 and the beauty industry is run by men. Estee created 4 skincare products in her uncle's garage in Queens, New York, and decides that she is going to build a beauty empire. But not in the traditional way. Estee was going to break all the rules in her rise to the top. She started by applying her products to women in salons while they sat under the hairdryer. From there, she took on department stores, fighting for counter space against favored brands that were run by men. But she never took no for an answer, and she proved that women wanted her products by whatever means possible. Just listen to this. When a department store in France told her that they would never sell an American fragrance, she famously dropped a bottle of her first fragrance, Youth Dew, on the beauty department floor. When women gathered to ask her where they could buy it, she told them, just ask the store manager. And forget just getting her products on the shelves. Estee was also a pioneer in marketing and in sales. She even created some beauty industry firsts that are still used today. Ever heard of gift with purchase? And in a world of creams, Estee created the first repair serum. But more than that, Estee invented the concept of a beauty advisor. She knew that women wanted to learn about beauty, so she only hired saleswomen who would not just sell, but who would bring her personal touch to the customer, even if she couldn't be there herself. There are 100 more stories like these, but this is what you really need to know. Estee Lauder's mission was to help women feel their most confident and beautiful. She was a beauty industry pioneer who put women first in everything that she did. And because of that, she paved the way for many girl boss beauty entrepreneurs that exist today. Over 60 years ago, Estee knew the power of women and the common language that we all speak. Today, we're still spreading her message in everything that we do.
So Estee Lauder's power wasn't just that she changed the beauty industry forever, she did. But we really like to celebrate the nature of her legacy and how she made her mark, right? With grit and persistence and a true unwavering dedication to a dream. And, you know, this year, it was set up at the top. We are celebrating actually 75 years of Estee Lauder. And, you know, today, 75 years later, the Estee Lauder brand carries her mission and her vision in everything we do across our entire business.
Thanks, Kelly. So as was previewed, you definitely know Estee Lauder to be a skincare brand, especially as we're calling her a woman with 4 creams and a dream. So you know that we're in the skincare space, but also just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of all the categories we cover within beauty. So first and foremost, skincare, and then we have our Renutriv line, which is actually a luxury skincare line. And fun fact that Mrs. Estee Lauder was actually one of the first inventors of a luxury skincare line, and we still have that line with us today. We are also very active in the makeup category, and you'll see some of what we call our hero products later on, but you may be familiar with. And we also have quite a robust fragrance business. And then finally, you may be familiar with our Erin brand, which is actually a lifestyle and beauty brand that was invented and is still run today by Estee Lauder's granddaughter, Erin Lauder herself. So this is kind of an overview of all the different breadth of beauty that we cover as a brand. And across those 5 different categories, something we just wanted to highlight quick is what we really pride ourselves on. First and foremost is high quality breakthrough products. As mentioned in the video, we were the first people to invent the nighttime serum. So always really making sure we are ahead of the curve and delivering to the consumer what she wants, maybe before she even knows what she needs. We are also very meticulous in sourcing high performance ingredients to make sure that we're delivering products that work for our consumers. And sustainability and recyclability is a new initiative taken on by the Estee Lauder brand, which we are very excited about. So you'll start to see our upcoming product launches into more sustainable packaging, and know as a brand that we're really further committed to really furthering this cause. And then finally, not only are we creating high quality products with high performance ingredients, but we're also creating them for every woman. Not every woman, excuse me, sorry, all gender identifications, all ages, all ethnicities. We really want everyone to know that our products are truly created with every consumer in mind. With that being said, while we are across all 5 of those categories, you may be familiar with our largest category, skincare, and what we like to call our hero product, Advanced Night Repair. So I'll give you a quick sneak peek, and it actually looks like in the chat that quite a few of you use it. So maybe I'm speaking already to experts and longtime users, which is fantastic. I use it twice daily, actually, at night and in the morning, because it gives a nice radiant glow. But yes, it is the #1 worldwide serum, the #1 in the US. We have been formulating this serum for over 38 years, test on a variety of consumers, like I said, to make sure that we know that this truly works for all consumers. And we actually just relaunched with an upgraded packaging and formula this past August. So if you haven't purchased in a while, I would highly suggest a repurchase soon, because the new formula is fantastic. And as I mentioned, the new packaging is recyclable, and we're actually today for Earth Day pushing our new Estee Empties campaign. So you can reuse the packaging for fun, creative ways. Here's a example of our most recent campaign that went along with that relaunch, and we're calling it the Every Serum. And we're encouraging both employees, consumers, anyone that uses advanced night repair to participate via the hashtag Generation ANR. So you can see here all different types of consumers. We also love to feature the mother and daughter duo using the product together, or perhaps the mother passing on the wisdom of using the advanced night repair down to her daughter. So just a fun way to see all the different types of consumers that utilize and love our advanced night repair. And then finally, we did a little bit of a tease here, but we wanted to show you the full video, as we were super excited about this collaboration. And actually, you know, it speaks about the joy of canceled plans and staying home. So it actually ended up being a lot more timely than we realized, given the circumstances of the global situation right now. But we'll let you guys see the full video here.
Camera, where's the camera? I always look like this, even when I'm at home, resting, doing nothing. Champagne. Just because you are at home does not mean you can't look good, honey. You can always look your best, even if you are alone. Okay. Actually, my girls just wanted to have a Saturday night in, and I thought it could be fun to look this fabulous. Do you really think I walk around with a beat face all day? There are biker shorts underneath this, okay? Nobody has to know. It's time. It's time. Everyone's late, but that's okay, because my skin is on point and I got a little bounce right there. Uh-oh. It's Friday, not Saturday. Well, that's okay, because now I got my night to myself and I know exactly what I'm about to do. All right! Pamper my skin with Estee Lauder's new Advanced Night Repair Serum. Just a few drops of this serum leaves my skin feeling hydrated and dewy. It's magic in a bottle. Now this is my kind of Friday night.
So just a fun asset there. I wanted to show you guys both, you know, we talked about the high accolades that the product has. I'm sure I'm seeing in the chat you all use it, so I think it speaks for itself. But just also wanted to show an example of how local regions that came from the North America team kind of take the product and adapt it to be locally relevant to their market. So that was our skincare overview, and I'm going to pass it to Kelly to do a quick overview on makeup.
Thank you, Paige. So as Paige kind of teed up at the front, we have makeup across both the color and the face category. We're going to focus on our #1 best-selling foundation, which is Double Wear. And please tell me in the chat, I know you very naturally told us in the chat that you're advanced night repair users, but if anyone has used Double Wear, let us know. It really is the #1 foundation in the world. It's a cult favorite. That's what we call it here, right? People are obsessed with the high performance claims. It's really a foundation that's going to go wherever you need to go. It has 24-hour wear, 24-hour color true. It's transfer proof, life proof, sweat proof, humidity proof, waterproof, all the proofs. And so, you know, people really, really rely on those high performance claims. But actually the high performance isn't actually the only thing that makes double wear really unique in the space. You know, it's also from our approach to shade and formula development. So for over 10 years, we have been working on something called color capture, which is extensive research. And we take photos of real skin types, real skin tones, real skin pigments, and that really directly informs our shade development. So I want to share a quick video of the way that we are starting to communicate that to our consumers.
Makeup is not just about hiding flaws. It's about how beautiful it makes my skin look.
I really just want my skin to look rosy and refreshed, especially on those dull days.
And I want a shade that makes my skin feel more like skin.
At Estee Lauder, we understand that your perfect shade is nuanced. Our team of color scientists, product development, and makeup artists have done extensive research to understand the world's ever-changing skin tones. So you will find the shade that flatters you most.
So Marianne, the woman in the white coat, is actually part of our face product development team. And I've had the amazing opportunity to sit in meetings with her before, and she tells all these stories about being out, taking these photos, and then she'll, you know, say, here's the shade that we, you know, directly resulted from these studies. So it's really an incredible approach to shade and formula development. So next, the same way that we just took a look at that amazing Danielle Brooks video, we have also set the strategy from a global level and how we communicate around double wear. And then the regions take it and make it hyper relevant for their consumers. They understand the consumers best in the market and in the region. So actually this next video comes from Maiah's team, and she'll have the opportunity to talk a little bit more later. But this is Sloane Stevens putting double wear to the test.
I'm Sloane Stevens, and I'm a professional tennis player. I can feel strong and confident on and off the court and look flawless knowing that my foundation will last. Game, set, match.
So regional relevance does not only come to life through assets, but through events and customer outreach, which is what you see here on the screen. So 2 years ago, Estee Lauder was actually the first prestige beauty brand to ever activate at Essence Fest. So over 3 days, the US team matched over 3,500 guests with their perfect shade of double wear. And really, by all accounts, it was a really big success with over 7 million impressions and over 250,000 engagements. So really showing that, you know, connecting to the customers in the market. Maiah is going to bring this to life for you during the panel discussion. She was there, she has a firsthand account, and she will do it justice. So actually, speaking of that, this rounds out our brand overview. I hope you got a little bit of a taste of the Estee Lauder brand and the products and our approach to product development. But now we are actually going to shift gears a little bit. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and ask all of the panelists to take themselves or put themselves on camera. Hello, welcome. And we're going to actually kick off the panel discussion. And I am so excited to be here with Maiah and Layla and Eileen. I get to work with these lovely ladies, and they have a lot to offer, and I'm so excited for them to share their points of view. So we're going to talk a little bit about career trajectory, if I can say the word, and what it's like being part of the Estee team. We also have representations across different functions and both regional and global level here today. So to start off, I'd love for each of you to give me, you know, kind of your 30-second elevator pitch, your name, your position, how long you've been with the company. And then of course, I need you to share what your desert island Estee Lauder product is. And Maiah, I'll start with you.
Okay, great. So hi, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Maiah Martin, and I am the Director of Consumer Engagement for the Estee Lauder and Aram Beauty brands in the North America region. I've been with the company for about 3 years, and during that time, I've only been on the Lauder brand. And if I had to choose one product to be deserted with on a desert island, that is very challenging because I have like a 5 million step skincare routine. But it would definitely be Advanced Night Repair, which I see a number of folks love in here, to help try and keep my skin glowing and radiant.
We love Advanced Night Repair. Okay, Layla, how about you?
Hi, everyone. My name is Layla Caroni. I'm an assistant manager on the global product marketing team and working on Advanced Night Repair products. I have been with the company for about 4 years almost. And well, my go-to product, I think, is a really hard question. And on a desert island, Maiah, if I can steal your A&R, then I would bring Perfectionist Pro Retinol. It's extremely gentle and releases gradually, so it doesn't irritate skin. I highly recommend it.
She is our resident skincare junkie. Okay, to round out this section, Eileen.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eileen Dautruche. I'm a director on the global communications team for Estee Lauder and Aram Beauty. I've been with ELC specifically on the Lauder brand for 5 years, which is really incredible and flew by. Again, I'm also a beauty junkie, but if I had to pick one, I have to go with SPF because sun protection is super important. So for me, it would have to be the Perfectionist Pro Multi-Defense Aqua UV Gel. It has SPF 50, it hydrates, it protects, and most importantly, it doesn't leave a gray cast on my skin.
Thanks everyone for sharing your desert island products and for introducing yourselves. I just want to give our makeup portfolio a little bit of a shout out since everyone's desert island product was skincare. So I highly recommend a new launch. It's the Futurist Watery Glow Primer. It's super hydrating, but also gives a nice dewy, radiant glow. So I'll actually give you a little sneak peek later on, but that's my desert island product. But I'd love to kick off our discussion now and focus on our career trajectory. So you all mentioned how long you've been here, but would love to kind of figure out what your path was that brought you here. So Eileen, can you share a little bit about your story? What brought you to Estee Lauder?
Yes, I actually started a competitive beauty brand, so we don't really talk about that. But for me, it was really just a job to hold me over until I graduated law school. But turns out I never applied for law school because we were in a recession and I didn't want to take on any student loans. So I went into the agency side working on social media because at the time it was very new and fresh and dynamic. And actually I had some of the most leading brands, including MAC Cosmetics and Aveda, and also Mattel. So if you were ever complaining on Facebook at one point to Mattel about Barbie, you were actually speaking to me. But from there, I went in-house at Moroccan Oil, a hair care brand, because I wanted to go back in-house and really experience a smaller brand. So I was there for about 3 years. And then I came to Estee Lauder because I found an amazing opportunity. And over the past 5 years, I've really been able to work on some of the most amazing programs and something exciting like the Victoria Beckham collection for Estee Lauder, ramping up influencer marketing for the brand across the world, and of course, working side by side with Erin Lauder, who we mentioned earlier is Mrs. Estee Lauder's granddaughter.
Thanks for sharing. I hope I was never one of those people complaining about Barbie. Layla, how about you? Would love to hear about your path.
Yeah, so I joined the company right after graduating from college in 2017. And at that time, I did not know what I wanted to do. And what allowed me to understand what was important to me and what excited me was job search. And through this process, I realized that I was looking for an environment that made me feel empowered and through which I would be able to empower other women. What empowers me, I realize, is intellectual stimulation, business acumen, financial confidence, and personal expression. And I saw the beauty industry as providing the tools to allow for my personal interest to flourish. And then this role specifically to allow me to empower other women as well. I also realized that I loved and was looking for working for a global company because it offers a structured environment with vast opportunity to learn, as well as the opportunity to work with employees in different countries and from different countries. I'm actually from Italy, and so I feel most comfortable when surrounded by intellectual, cultural, and linguistic differences. And it brings me reassurance to know that I can move anywhere and remain within the ELC family. Lastly, networking played a crucial role because ultimately I came across my role through a connection that I made at my first internship in college. So we'll touch on this later on, but networking and mentorship are also really important to this group.
Great to hear about your path and actually how you came directly from your university. Maiah, obviously, we know you're a Howard alum. So did you always know that you wanted to work in the cosmetics industry, or what brought you here to Lauder?
That is a great question. So honestly, I did not know that I wanted to work in the cosmetic industry at all, despite being a beauty junkie. So when I was at Howard, I was an advertising major and electronic studio art minor. Shouts out to everybody from the School of C. And I, upon graduating, had full intention on going to be, in the agency life and work in an ad agency, which is what I did. And I really didn't necessarily have one sort of lane that I wanted to go into. I was really open and just wanted to soak up everything that I could and learn the industry and develop my skill set. And with that way of thinking, I got to work across a number of different brands, ranging from CPG brands and retailer focused brands, food brands, I mean, you name it. And then my last stint prior to coming to Estee was on a mass skincare and skin cleansing brand. And with that, we got to play in the beauty space and I was sort of instantly hooked. And from there, I was like, okay, like I'm set, I'm going to be in the beauty industry. No ifs, ands, or buts. So I'd been on the agency side for about 5 years. And to be honest, I got a little burnt out. For anybody who has ever worked at an agency or, sort of interned at one, I'm sure you've experienced this, but the culture can be very churn and burn. Oftentimes agencies are a revolving door. And I just got I was burnt out. I was exhausted. And I also sort of craved a little bit more business insight into what truly made a business tick and getting, information about what's driving sales and the consumer and product development and all of that. And a lot of those things aren't necessarily given to folks on the agency side when you're in client services. So that sort of culmination and perfect storm of things led me to explore roles on the brand side. And I landed at Estee and been here ever since.
Well, I have to say, we are very lucky that you landed here at Estee Lauder. That actually kind of naturally leads into our next question, which will be for everyone. Can you guys share what is one thing that you absolutely love about your jobs? And Layla, I'll turn it over to you first.
So I'm very lucky because I love skincare and I love science, and I'm also extremely interested in the business aspect. So global marketing, my role, is truly multidimensional, and in following a product from conception to launch and seeing every step along the way, I'm really able to leverage my analytical skills alongside my more creative and innovative thinking while doing something that truly makes me passionate. I love being part of the Advanced Night Repair Serum upgrade, which you recently just saw. Kelly shared with you some insight. It was one of our biggest launches in decades, and it was a significant learning opportunity. I learned new scientific findings and insights. I strengthened project management skills and strengthened data analysis skills, as well as my business acumen. So while I am very aware that this is a business and a very strong one, I also love working for a brand that I'm proud of and whose products I truly believe in. We're one of a kind, really, when it comes to the quality of our products, the standards of our science, and our commitment to our consumers. And we really strive to communicate this with our messaging and to ensure that our words and images resonate with everyone. And I hope that you recognize that in what you saw earlier.
I'm telling you, Layla is the Advanced Night Repair hero on this call, and she is a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so Eileen, what do you love most about your job?
I love that I work on a global team. Each region has their own nuances, and even within those regions, each country is different. So I have a network of international colleagues that I work with daily and I'm able to learn from. And so my skill set is quite broad, and I know how to work with influencers or press in the US, but I'm also able to execute programs in France or in Italy or even Japan. I always joke that I start my day in Europe, I have lunch with Americans, and then I end my day with APAC. So I'm always learning something new, and every day is dynamic and different. And I love learning about all of the the cultural nuances and how people work, whether it's in social or how we work with influencers. And, for example, learning about the Chinese market and, how advanced they are, it's been so eye-opening because there are so many tech aspects that we don't even consider here, but they're using on a daily basis. So that enables me to do my job in a different way and approach things in a way that, just only benefits the brand, whether I'm working with the US or, again, Japan, France, Switzerland. It's really exciting to have that network of international colleagues.
Yeah, it's incredible. I do hope that you are ending your day today with us and you don't have another call after this. Okay, and Maiah, to round out this question.
So I work in the North America region, and I think that the one thing that I love is that our region is really considered home for the brand. And, it's obviously a very diverse region. And I love the fact that with my team, we do a lot to make sure that the messaging that we put out there on behalf of the brand is really culturally relevant. And I think it's super important to always lead with that and to lead with a level of authenticity. Consumers and people in general aren't one size fits all. So it's really important that we tailor our messaging in a way that is going to make sense and meet people where they are. So for instance, with things like Essence Fest, there were ahead of us going to Essence Fest is the first prestige brand to activate there. There had never been a prestige beauty brand to go to Essence, which, for all of us that know in the chat, like Essence has been deemed as sort of the Super Bowl for Black women. So it's preposterous. I mean, you see so many brands, there are millions of people that are piling through the city during that sort of 3-day 4th of July weekend. And it was really groundbreaking for us. I mean, we matched 3,500 people with their perfect shade, but it was really a great way to authentically connect with Black women and have conversations with them. We were hearing stories about how, they had used advanced night repair from, their auntie or their grandmother, and so on and so forth. So finding those touch points across different, cultures is really important to me, to make sure that we're able to show, women of all different like races and ethnicities and backgrounds and ages that, one, we have a brand that makes product that is for them, and two, to make sure that they feel seen. So I think those are just a couple of the things that I really love about working in the North America region and specifically on the consumer engagement team.
I loved hearing all of that. It's so great to hear how we all work together, but there's each specific nuances about why we love what we do. So it's so great to hear that. And we opened with kind of hearing about how you guys got to Estee Lauder, but I'd love to focus now on the professional development that happens within Estee Lauder companies and any opportunities that exist that you've been able to leverage for your career and kind of further your professional development. So actually, Maiah, I'll start with you.
So I will just say that there are 1,000,001 opportunities at Estee Lauder companies to network and meet people. And it is so incredibly important. I think that relationships really are a key driver in a number of different facets for the company. When I first joined, actually, I heard about Noble, which is the network of Black leaders and executives. It's our ERG, aka Employee Resource Group. As you can tell, we speak in a lot of acronyms here. So trying to break it down and explain it so it doesn't feel like I'm speaking in, some other foreign language. But I heard about Noble and instantly joined. And with doing that, I was able to meet people that worked across different departments, different functions, different brands, and different regions. And it was a great way to build a community. And with that opportunity also came a leadership role. So I then took on more responsibility and became a co-chair of our business alignment department, which allowed me to work more closely with other brands outside of Lauder. It's a great way, I think, to meet people and to make friends, but also to gain a heightened sense of visibility. I've had a ton of visibility with senior leaders in the company, which has been great. I've also worked really closely with I&D, which is part of the reason that I'm even able to be here and connect with everyone, with the work with Christina and Nicole and team, is all because of sort of those relationships that I formed with joining Noble and the ERG. So it's really, really important to me to be able to do that and to have the opportunity to work across programs like She's Howard and From Every Chair, which is a sponsorship program that we brought to life this year that connects Black talent with mentors and sponsors in the company to ultimately provide additional resources and professional development expertise. So those are just two of the many sort of networking opportunities I've taken in the company, but they've really been key drivers, I think, in the success that I've had.
I love hearing that, and I love kind of hearing the journey you took from just participating in Noble and then kind of taking on a leadership role from there. So really the evolution of that involvement. Layla, what about yourself?
So one extracurricular that I want to talk to you about, because I love being part of it, is the Estee Lauder Brand Symposium. So this is, as we refer to it, a cross-functional employee think tank. Essentially, we're a small group whose purpose is to address and brainstorm around any topic or question coming from within the Estee Lauder brand. Our core pillars are engage, ideate, learn, and advise. And essentially through each one of these, we strive to create opportunities for ourselves and for employees to inspire, grow, learn, and ultimately inspire the evolution of the Lauder brand. As I mentioned already today, mentorship is also really important to me. And I'm really happy to say that we created with the Brand Symposium a space dedicated precisely for mentorship for the brand. We call it the Reverse Mentorship Program. So we actually just concluded the program's second season in January, and Kelly and I are kicking off the third season. The goal with this program is to create mentorship partnerships with junior and senior employees, but as you probably noticed from the name, not in the traditional way, because here the junior employees are mentoring the senior leaders. So this way, the junior members are empowered to communicate their knowledge and their expertise while gaining career growth advice. And on the other hand, the senior members learn about everything that the young consumer knows, seeks, consumes, and wants directly from the consumer themselves. So it's a really exciting program to be a part of.
Thanks so much for that intro. And actually, I should say here that actually I'm also involved in the Brand Symposium, as are many members on our panel today, and that's why we have the opportunity to speak to you all today. So I'm also very thankful for that development opportunity. And finally, Eileen, let's hear from you.
Yeah, so really your career is yours to own. I was one of those people that had the mindset of if I worked hard, people will kind of give me the opportunities, but no one will hand you anything. And like Maiah mentioned, there are plenty of professional development opportunities at Estee Lauder. So aside from, participating in an employee resource group or finding like these extracurriculars, finding opportunities, for me, it's just, I find them and I truly sought them out myself. I raise my hand for projects that are outside of my day-to-day work. And thankfully, and I think maybe it's because there is so much happening, the brand is very welcoming to that. So I've been able to meet other people on different teams, creating those meaningful relationships that open doors for me. I'm able to connect with my peers and let them know what I'm interested in, because the right friend can also bring you into the right rooms, I'm a firm believer in. And so the Brand Symposium is just another resource for me. I've been part of it since its inception 4 years ago, and I have the ability to have FaceTime with senior leadership, which is very quite unparalleled to be getting that one-on-one time with them. And also I signed up to be one of the brand I&D champions for the brand, because inclusion and diversity is something that's extremely important to me. And, it wasn't even a question. It was just like, yes, this is something that we will empower you to do. So really just being able to raise your hand and find those opportunities is just quite remarkable for me.
Yeah, thank you, Eileen. I think, stepping out of your day-to-day is so organically linked to growing that network, which leads us to our next question. So we've gone digital in the last year and a half or, year. So what advice would you guys give to everyone watching on how to effectively network, especially, in today's very virtual world? And Eileen, let's start with you.
Yeah, the great thing about Lauder is that it's such a big company, and the Lauder brand itself. Look at just the sheer amount of people we have representing Estee Lauder and Erin today. So my biggest bit of feedback would just be to reach out to people. You have this amazing opportunity with the She's Howard program where you're actually being connected and you're seeing who we are. So find us on LinkedIn, Google names, reach out and just, reach out to speak to someone. I would say offer something in return, if it was back in the days of when we're allowed to be in person, paying for their cup of coffee. But we're very open to having those conversations. So definitely take the first step and find people who are working in fields that you're interested in or, something that you might be interested in. I think we're always open to having those conversations.
And Layla, what's your take?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Eileen said. And what I would say is be genuine, be patient, and adapt. I think networking is a tool that we all use in our career, but it still does require forming relationships with people. So that's a really important part that I always take into account in my relationships, whether personal or business. And then with regards to our changing world, yes, adapt. If we are virtual, have virtual coffees or have virtual calls. And if anything, it's much easier to schedule and you'll probably get a yes much quicker.
I'm sure everyone's calendars are very full. And how about you, Maiah?
Speaking to that point, Kelly, about calendars being full, one piece of advice that I would recommend is to not be afraid to reach out more than once. I think that emails get lost constantly. Everyone is moving a mile a minute. So don't feel as though if you don't get a response right away, that is a no. It probably is not. The person may just be extremely bogged down. And then the last thing I would say is when networking, don't think that should solely consist of networking with those more senior than you. It's also really important to network with peers and those that are more junior than you. You never know who, you're speaking with or what sort of their trajectory is. And I think there's so much opportunity to sort of network across, if you will, versus just networking vertically. Because when you network across, you all will hopefully climb together. So that would be my other piece of advice too for networking.
That's fantastic advice from all of you. Maiah specifically, actually how I landed my first job was from a connection who was someone my own age. So it definitely works out that way. So yeah, I would definitely echo your feedback there. And I want to pivot to some other professional development opportunities within Estee Lauder. So Maiah and Eileen, you were both nominated for the Estee Lauder Company's Open Doors Women's Leadership Program, created by our Vice Chairman, Serum, as well as one of the Noble members from every chair leadership and development programs. Could you both share a little bit about the program and why you chose to participate? Maiah, we'll start with you.
Yeah, so I was absolutely elated when I heard about the opportunity and knowing that it was going to be sort of this 2-week intensive with other high performing women directors in the company, some that I knew, some that I didn't know. I think that it was really intriguing to me when it was brought my way. So I absolutely jumped at the opportunity. It is essentially, I would say 2 things. So there's Open Doors, which Eileen and I were actually a part of, and I know Eileen will speak to a little bit more, but there's also the From Every Chair program. And that I'll speak to that program. So that was essentially a program that I helped to bring to life with a number of folks that are in the background today, including Christina and Alex and team. But essentially, the company made some really strong commitments to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that started really not just externally, but internally. So there was a desire to bring more professional development and sponsorship to Black employees at the company, and from every level, right? So we will pair directors and above with someone in a very senior role as sort of a sponsor to give them professional development advice on anything ranging from, negotiation strategy to, how to successfully give feedback or advocate for yourself. And then we'll pair directors and executive directors with folks that sit at the senior manager and below level. So it really is an opportunity for folks to sort of speak to someone who has, one, been in their shoes, and two, has a number of different gems to drop to help them sort of continue as they matriculate through their career. And I think, we've seen great success with the program already. I myself am a part of it, not just as a mentor to someone more junior than me, but I also have a sponsor who has been, amazing. We text, we have our monthly connects, but she's been really instrumental in sort of what I've been thinking about for my next role and my career growth. So really just excited to see the company be so committed to helping employees continue to grow and retaining talent. That is really important and something that you definitely don't see everywhere.
Yes, there's definitely no shortage of opportunity in that sense. Eileen, would you like to share a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with Maia's point about seeing the company's commitment. So Open Doors is the women's leadership program, as you mentioned, created by Vice Chairman Serum, who in her own right is absolutely incredible. So it's designed to effectively train and prepare the next generation of female leaders in the company. I was nominated by senior leadership, and I chose not to participate, not only to get access to some of the amazing lessons, like negotiations and effective communication, something that I struggle with, but also just to meet people outside of my own brand. Estee Lauder Companies is such a huge corporation, and it's easy to focus, solely on the Lauder brand, but being able to meet people outside of, my world has been instrumental because, again, you're able to make those meaningful connections, and even just within our own brand. So like Maiah, for example, works on the North America team. However, I probably had like maybe 1 or 2 meetings with her. So it's just really giving that opportunity to make those connections and find people who could potentially open that next door for you.
Thank you, Eileen. That actually rounds out our panel discussion. So I want to say a huge, huge thank you to Maiah, Eileen, and Layla. I have to say, and Paige, of course, for being my fellow moderator. I have to say that I am endlessly impressed and inspired by working with these women on a daily basis. And I hope that, it came across how amazing and all of the opportunities that they've seized at the Estee Lauder Companies and within the Estee Lauder brand. So we're actually going to move into some next steps. I'm going to hand it over in just one moment to our HR partner, Raquel, to take you through just 1 or 2 slides. While we are doing this, I want to just invite everyone. We're going to have a Q&A session right at the end. I want to invite everyone to ask your questions in the chat. Paige and I will be going through them, and then we will be tossing them out to the panelists to answer just once Raquel is done. So I'm going to quickly share my screen again and take it away, Raquel.
Thank you, Estee Lauder team, for the amazing presentation today and the panel discussion. My name is Raquel Rivera, and I work on the Estee Lauder Human Resources team, as Kelly said before. If you loved what you saw today and you're interested in how you can join the Estee Lauder family, all of our full-time job opportunities are posted on our career site, elcompanies.com/talent. ELC seeks high performers from all backgrounds to bring fresh perspectives to our teams. On the career site, you'll be able to search roles by a number of different identifiers. So you can search by keywords, location, job area, levels, and you can also sign up on that career site for email updates to hear about the latest job opportunities that open up. We also recommend applying about 1 to 2 months prior to your desired start date. And lastly, our talent team will be providing you all with a source code to use when you apply to our roles in order for our teams to easily identify you as a candidate. And we have more information to come on that later on. If there's any questions on how to apply, please let us know. You can write in the chat and I'll respond back.
Fantastic. Thanks, Raquel. And really just encouraging you all to utilize the chat for some Q&A. You'll get some answers from our panelists, so please feel free to drop them in. But I did just want to do a quick shout out. Following up with this call, as Raquel mentioned, we'll send a follow-up email that'll have some details and materials for you, exactly the next steps on how to apply and perhaps that source code. But what will also be there is a discount code for esteelauder.com, just Howard ELC. No need to write it down or anything because we'll send it in an email. And here I just wanted to highlight our most recent launches. Obviously, you've heard us recommend our star products throughout this presentation, but here's some new ones. So really fresh out of that innovation pipeline. You've heard us mention the Perfectionist Pro product line a few times. This one here, the Futurist Aqua Brilliance Watery Gold Primer, that was my Desert Island product. Can't recommend enough. And we have new launches across all of our categories, but the code works throughout esteelauder.com. So please feel free to go on and browse and hopefully either replenish or treat yourself to something new. All right, so I think we can take the screen down and see the questions that you guys have for us. All right, we have one here. Where do you see the company in 10 years? Or are there any unique projects or opportunities that you personally may want to explore? Eileen, since you have the longest trajectory with Estee Lauder, and you've seen the evolution in the past 5 years, maybe you have a little bit more foresight into the future.
I truly wish I had a crystal ball. But you know, the really exciting thing about my ring light is going crazy. So let me calm that down. The really exciting thing about the Estee Lauder companies is the evolving landscape. So I think whether it's expanding in different markets, I saw a question in about, you know, Estee Lauder's footprint in the African continent. That is something that, you know, we've heard from a global level. So how do we accelerate there? So I think, you know, being able to expand into new markets, growing some of our existing markets like India, and then seeing how working with, you know, China and APAC, I can't stress it enough. One of the big things that I enjoy about my career or my role here is the global footprint, because Layla mentioned it in her talking points. You know, she's Italian, so she knows that she has that ability, if there are roles open, to go work within the EMEA office. So I think it's just being able to think of how quickly the market will evolve and our agility and our adaptability.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. The latest question we have that I think I will pass to Layla, as it's very pertinent to our advanced night repair. So I'm excited to hear about your sustainable packaging initiatives. What are your key initiatives and what is the team responsible for when it comes to sustainability?
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. And Estee Lauder as a brand is undertaking a really large sustainability mission. So on our website, you will actually be able to find our sustainability goals, our sustainability achievements, which span from inclusion and diversity mission regarding citizenship, as well as gas emissions goals that we've achieved by reducing plastic and by using glass instead, and so on. So we're really looking at sustainability holistically, ensuring recyclability, ensuring that our products are sustainable in many different ways and under different qualifications. So with regards to advanced night repair, we launched this advanced night repair serum upgrade in glass for the first time. The packaging is not only beautiful, sleek, but it's sustainable, which is something we're extraordinarily proud about. And advanced night repair isn't the only product kind of undergoing this change. As Paige, I think, mentioned earlier when she was telling you about our priorities, sustainability, recyclability have become priority for the brand as a whole. And so many products are in the process of moving from plastic to glass.
Thank you for sharing. Actually, Layla, while we have you on, I'm going to put you on the spot as the advanced night repair guru, but we have a few questions. Someone's mentioning they have more sensitive skin, so they'd love to hear a little bit more about the ingredients that are in the product. And me tangentially working on it, I know that we test on all skin types, sensitive skin included, but Layla didn't know if you wanted to share a little bit more about that specific product.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. So as Paige said, we've tested advanced night repair on every skin type, skin tone, ethnicity. So if you have sensitive, dry, oily, normal combination, any type of skin type, it will work for you. It's really formulated to be the one serum that is the every serum, to work for everybody, no matter the age, no matter the climate you live in, no matter your ethnicity. It's supposed to be the holy grail for everyone. And we take extra care in our testing. We're extremely committed to giving high quality ingredients to our consumers that are sourced responsibly, but that are also not compromising. The highlight that I want to give on the ingredients in A&R are peptides, ferments, antioxidants, and hyaluronic acid. So I'm sure that you've heard of these ingredients before, and I don't think you need me to tell you that they're really good for your skin, but since you're asking, yes, I can confirm that they are really good for your skin, and they won't irritate or cause any damage to your skin. And actually, one thing I want to add that I didn't say, we're free of parabens, phthalates, sulfates, sulfites, and mineral oil, and it's oil-free.
Thank you, Layla, for sharing. And we'll take one last question here. And I think I can actually take it. I think they're saying the beauty industry has, how has ELC adapted to this more clean and beauty skincare without impacting original formulas? And I will say that we're definitely taking a closer look into our formulations, and we're combining, as Layla mentioned, sustainably sourced, and also a mix of both natural ingredients and natural synthetics. So making sure that things are working in the proper way that they should, with the most integrity put into our formulas. But you guys are really calling out very crucial trends or not trends, it's table stakes actually now within the industry. So you definitely have your eye on the beauty industry. I do want to be mindful of time as we are wrapping up on the hour, and I would love to pass to Nicole to close us out, but I just want to take the moment to thank you all for your time. Thank you all for your participation. As mentioned, and I think it's going in the chat too, we'll send a follow-up with the discount code, how to apply, and anything else that maybe we didn't get to cover in the chat. So thank you guys so much. And with that, I will pass to Nicole.
Thank you. Sorry about that, everybody. Anyway, just a huge thank you to everybody who has been on this journey with us. And thank you for those of you who have joined us for the first time tonight. I hope that you have enjoyed this session. And don't forget to join us next week for the session on transitioning into beauty. And please look out for the email from Howard University with the registration email information, along with the link to our open positions. Thanks again, and we appreciate your continued support and participation. And a huge thank you to the Estee Lauder team for doing this with us tonight. It was fantastic. Thank you, and everybody have a good night.